21-year-old Colombian national Robert Rodriguez Melendez in court accused of rape. The victim, a woman waiting for her food to be delivered by a female Uber Eats driver. The woman in the driver's profile, allegedly his own mother.
When the delivery driver arrived, it was a male party rather than the female party listed on the delivery driver's profile. The driver did not speak English but told the named victim that she needed a 4-digit code in order to complete the delivery.
That's when trouble started. The victim allegedly let him in out of the cold and called her Spanish-speaking friend on a 3-way call to Uber tech support.
At some point during the call, the man gained possession of the victim's phone and disconnected the call.
The hang-up led to horror. Eventually, the rape in a nearby bathroom ended apparently due to the victim's Spanish-speaking friend calling her incessantly.
She reported that she picked up her phone, called Miss Maldonado back, and asked her to tell the suspect to leave.
Days after he fled the attack, police tracked the illegal immigrant down. His case moved from district to superior court. Prosecutors want him behind bars.
What steps have you taken to return Mr. Abrego Garcia to allow him to get due process?
Abrego Garcia is in his home country.
What steps have you taken?
If your continued advocacy for him were to...
I'm not advocating for him. I'm advocating for a court order, Madam Secretary. The court order says that you must take steps to follow the court order. You are here under oath. What steps have you taken to return Mr. Abrego Garcia pursuant to this court order?
It's got to be extremely discouraging to be one of your constituents. To see you fight for a terrorist like this and not fight for them is extremely alarming to me.
I'm fighting for due process, and that's under the Constitution.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Man accused of rape has been indicted by a Lucas County grand jury. Toledo police say records say on June 4th, Talal Akwaze forced a victim into a room and raped her. He was arrested later that day. Akwaze now facing charges of rapes, gross sexual imposition, and kidnapping with sexual motivation. Specification: according to the jail roster, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, issued an immigration holder for him, but more information about his immigration status was not available. A judge set his bond at $250,000. He's due back in court on Friday.
Because, you have people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work, and they are in need of cash. It's a couple $100. I don't know the exact amount, and this should be available in about a week.
All right, guys, I'm back. I want to apologize for spazzing out in anger. I got to be a little more mature and deal with that righteous indignation that hits as someone who's supposed to be speaking to you. So I want to apologize to you guys. But it's a tad bit difficult when you're looking at it and talking about it, and you're just constantly coming to the realization that everything these wicked people do, they get you to come into agreement with screwing yourself. They make you violate the laws, and then they get you to come into agreement with the violation of the laws. And when they get the majority of a nation in agreement with them, then those curses fall upon that nation. All right. So this is where we left off. For those of you who just saw this video and haven't seen the previous video, this is part 2. And this is where we are. We're talking about the Tower of Babel, the reason why the languages were scattered at the Tower of Babel, and how God's decree at the Tower of Babel established different languages and thereby established borders. And that the undoing of borders is what brings in violence and brings in strife and brings in all the rest of these things. But we're going to take our time and we're going to go back to Dr. Francis Miles, and then we're going to bounce to the next thing. And I'm just going to sit here and enjoy laughing at him be Francis Miles and not let myself spaz. I promise you, I'm not going to spaz. I'm not going to spaz.
And then when they turned down, the Chinese got to China, we like, in other words, we like this place. So they say, you know what? We don't like those bonjour. We don't like the bonjour, man, français. So we are going to build the tong, 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 tong. Yes, wall China. Tong, 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 tong. They build the wall of China. Boundaries. Good. So before you knew it, the Filipinos had their own boundaries. The Nakupenda Sana Sana had their own boundaries. They had their own boundaries. We don't want those English-speaking people. You see what I'm saying? And God appointed them. This is it. So now you can seek the Lord in your languages, in your ethnos. In your languages and your ethnos. Is that right? So let me put it this way. So the main purpose of language is to divide nations. Listen to me. The main purpose of language is what? To divide nations. So when a nation has an immigration policy which does not force people coming in to learn the nation's language, division has already begun. Because the purpose of language was to divide the nations. You can look at history, the degradation, the breakup of nations, will always begin with a language. Are you catching what I'm saying? The first thing the Holy Spirit did on the day of Pentecost, what did he do? He restored what? Kingdom language. And they began to speak in other tongues or languages as the Spirit gave them utterance. Are you catching what I'm saying? So language is no joke. Language is a supernatural act of God. So every time you hear somebody say, even if you don't understand them, they speak, nakupenda sana sana, you simply say, wow, that's amazing. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Oh, that's amazing. Why? Because language is a miracle.
All right, so stop right there, and I'm going to add a little commentary, but we're going to keep going. I just want to bring you into remembrance of some things. Okay, just recently, I did some videos where in Mexico, they said, learn Spanish or leave. And one of the biggest complaints that all Americans have had, one of the biggest things that has been exposed during the ICE raids is that the people who've come here are entitled and have not taken the time to learn the language. Remember this? We talked about this. And see, we see all these little things that God is presenting to us because it's him showing it to us. I know you guys seen it. I know you've been like, man, these people don't even know the language. That's an utterance from him. It's just that we don't know how to interpret the utterance because we haven't studied. But once you start to study and kind of learn and blend them together, then you understand, whoa, hold on. No, hell no, they need to learn the language. There you go. You saw a crazy man coming? Let's bring him down. No, let's let him go. They need to learn the damn language, man. You trying to bring curses on us. You trying to undo what God did. Now watch this. That's just the borders being open, right? Then let's just skip forward to the New World Order. I am Klaus Schwab, and we will rule you. My name is Klaus. I've been wicked since I was a child. My name is George Soros, and I'm a Jew, and I sold out my parents and friends to the Germans. My name is Alexander Soros, and George Soros is my dad, and I'm married to Huma Abedin, and we had a satanic marriage inside of a church, and all the people were there. Hail Satan. All these people, right? They are doing things that are directly polar opposite to what the Lord wants. But because we in ignorance, we like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And then it starts to compound, like compound interest. Compound interest. Yeah, you know how your $1 is compounded, you get $2 the next day, $3 the next day, $4. That's the biggest scam there is. Crypto scam I ever seen was compounded. But the point I'm making is this. You compound the wickedness therefore compounding the judgment. You compound the wickedness, therefore compounding the judgment. Shut up, James. All right, dog. Shut up, James. I got you, dog. We gonna move on.
Languages are a miracle, completely 100% God ordained. His eyes and his heart were straight, were always towards God. So in other words, if you are always looking this way.
Ooh, the devil didn't like that. Did y'all see what just happened? Did you see that? That was crazy. Hold on. Maybe it's an edit in the video. Let me just make sure. That was crazy.
Because the purpose of language was to divide the nation. Are you catching what I'm saying? The first thing the Holy Spirit did on the day. Are you catching what I'm saying? So language is no joke.
I caught it, dog.
Language is a supernatural act of God. So every time you hear somebody say, even if you don't understand them, they speak, nakupenda sana sana, you simply say, wow, that's amazing. Languages are a miracle. In other words, if you are always looking this way,
that was an edit.
Your eyes are towards. In other words, you always be moved by what's in front of you. Okay, but in the fall of man, because of independence, your eyes will be opened. What does it mean? You will see yourself. You're going to see yourself for the very first apart from Him.
All right, we need to stop right here for a second. Hold on. Francis Miles, Dr. Francis Miles, chill for a second. All right. Because I don't know who edited that like that. They just jumped backwards in the edit. But it's okay. It's all right. I got y'all. Let's get back on track. Because this is the next phase we need to get to. Hold on. I'll be right back. And it's okay because we needed to go back. I'm going to take you back. Way back. We needed to go back so we can get to. Sometimes you got to go forward to go backwards. So here's what's been established. And then from here, we're going to shoot off and go look at some other stuff. Here's what's been established. God is the one who established borders. He's the one that scattered the languages because men were building whatever they were building. In my personal opinion, men were building a damn weapon to get to God. And it was a damn weapon that was some next level advanced technology weapon, whether you call it CERN, whether you call it HARP. I don't know what it was. I wasn't there. You weren't there. But all we know is the fallen angels are the one that came down here and brought all this technology. You Doug Waters, you don't understand fallen angels are gray aliens and that God is an alien. Shut up. You're going to burn in hell. That's why I'm going to start telling people like that. And this is where we got to be brave. Well, Doug Waters, I don't believe the Jesus that you believe in. I believe that God talks to us all inside of ourselves and we don't need the Bible. You're going to burn in hell. Yeah. You're going to burn in hell. See, that's the problem we got because Christians are too scared to just tell people the truth. Dog, you're going to burn in hell. I don't want you to burn in hell, but I'm not going to be held responsible for not telling you. You're going to burn in hell. And I remember when I was a younger man, when people stopped saying it and people started making people feel guilty. Well, you're going to tell people they're going to burn in hell because of your fairy tale God in the sky. And people backed off. Then we went through, instead of saying Merry Christmas, it was Merry Xmas and all. No. This is where we headed back to right now, just so you'll understand. Yeah. If you believe Jesus is an alien, God is an alien, you're going to burn in hell. Yeah, you're going to burn in hell. That's your decision. And when you're in there in hell, and just so you know, hell is separation from God. Just so you get it, because He's holy in every way there is. And He can't have that around Him. You made that decision. When you're burning in hell and you wake up and you're like, oh, damn, this is real. My whole life I was wrong. Ask Antoine LaVey before he died. Antoine LaVey started dying. He started crossing into the veil. He said, oh, whoa, something's wrong. Whoa, something's wrong. See, I be spazzing. Bring it down, James. Bring that energy down. Let's go back. Let's go.
do, make one. Now, in the macho mind, it sounds nice. The Canadians, the Mexicans, the Americans, we just take all the borders, we are fine. It looks good, but here's the problem. Every time you have a borderless society, you are building the Tower of Babel way again. Do you know the Tower of Babel? Do you know where nations come from? Nations was God's solution to make sure the Tower of Babel never happens again. There were no nations before Genesis 11. There were no nations. Nations was God's reaction to a demonic agenda to make man worship themselves and build a tower to the heaven.
All right. I think we got that settled. Because I think that was in the last video. Now, for those of you who just happen to pop in and you're like, man, what's this video about? Now, we've established it. All right. We've established it. Now, we got to understand that when there's no borders, and then when people come in from different natures and the different cultures come in, hold on, of course it's going to be a clash of culture. Of course it's going to be a clash of culture, clash of culture. There's no way around it. And it's that clash of cultures that leads to violence. Scariest part is there's reasons why nations don't prosper. And the reasons why they don't prosper is because the altars that they serve in those nations to those gods. And so they don't prosper. It's their traditions that lead to them not being having any prosperity. It's their beliefs that lead to them not having any prosperity. And so and it's the covenants they have with those gods that lead to them not having prosperity. So when someone, and I've seen people say this before to me, well, dog waters, Donald Trump is throwing out all people out this country. Yeah, that's all people, dog. No, them Negroes ain't my people. Well, the Haitians is all people. Negro, I was not born in Haiti. The Africans is all Negro. I wasn't born in Ghana. I wasn't born in Kenya. I wasn't born in South Africa. I wasn't born there. I'm an American. The American people is my people. As messed up as we can be, as crazy as we can be, and sometimes it's racist and triggerish and tribalish and everything we can be, y'all my people. That don't mean I'm going to hate on them other people. But when I got to choose between peoples, I'm choosing my people. And I'm going to show you a video after this for all the Negroes. You get offended if you want to. I don't give a damn. The Negroes are going to be like, man, they're my people. No. Them same people, them same foreigners coming into this nation and abusing and beating your children and raping your women the exact same way they raping and beating and abusing white people. It's just that you so black. It's that your skin color takes precedent over your the nation you were born in, and you've been trained that way. So you'll sit there and be like, oh man, you see they beating the white people up, and your neighbor's son down the street just got shivved in the back by some damn illegal. You ignore that and look at what happened to Miss Betty, who got beat up. And we're going to look at some of these videos because I needed to hit home. The reason why, and I'm going to tell you this, I don't even think Donald Trump really knows the spiritual ramifications of what he's doing. I just think he was led by God. Well, we need to fix these problems. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his spiritual advisors know. But when he closed that border, he got our nation back in order. Now we got to expel the invaders. And all the time he's trying to expel the invaders, we got all these crowns. ICE is deporting people. ICE is murdering people. Alligator Alcatraz. All they have is they're in cages, and they only have two bathrooms for 16 people. The whole time, Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, super predator lady, took American citizens, created a prison pipeline, monetized the prison, slammed them into cells. You know how many people went to prison over weed? Now they legalized weed, crack cocaine. Put them in prison, slammed the cells with worse damn conditions than they was giving illegal aliens. They're giving these people damn hotel rooms at the most beautiful, fancy hotels in the damn world, in the nation. And you sitting there talking about you don't like Donald Trump. And for the record, let me say this. My man Donald spazzing out right now. Let me get real. My man spazzing. Like he, my precious. But that's my dude. Sorry. He put the ring on. I just be keeping it real with you. I'm still gonna take him with his ring on over Tim Walz and Kamala Harris. He could have put the ring on prior to the election. I still would have voted for him. And that's where, watch this, by next week, by the end of next week, everybody gonna be in the same spot. People gonna come to the realization, nah, dog, you tripping. You tripping, my man. But you all got but you tripping. Because everybody done got it out their system now saying, yo, dog, you tripping. You tripping. But let's keep it moving. And the beauty of it is, this is the beauty of what happened. You see, there can be no accusations in the courts of heaven that men treat Donald Trump as he's God of idolatry anymore. Because everybody spazzed. So any court cases by Satan to say that, oh, my Lord, he go to the courts of heaven. Satan, where you been? I've been running around messing with your children. If you don't know, Satan is an officer in the court of heaven. If you ever prayed to the court of heaven, yeah, he'll be there making accusations against you like he did Zechariah. Well, where you been? Lord, I've been going around to and fro and through the earth, messing with your children. And he'd be like, okay, so what's going on? What are they doing? Yeah, everybody act like he can't be in the presence of God. The Bible shows you can be in the presence of God. Well, I'm just coming to tell you, they idolize Donald Trump like he's you. Oh, really? You think so? Yeah, they idolize him like they think he's God. Oh, okay. Gone. I got a right to test him. Here come the test. Boom. And I'll tell you, when you look at it from a spiritual lens, this whole rigmarole kerfuffle that just happened, the one thing that nobody can say is that it's a cult where everybody believes Donald Trump is God. No, people drew the line in the sand. Nah, Donald, we don't agree with you. We rocks with you, but we don't agree with you. No, I got to tell you, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like that. So he ain't no king and this ain't no kingdom. You dig? All right, let me keep it moving. I'm sorry. I'll be spazzing. But I love you. That's why I spaz.
Officer ever again. Because it's open borders. Once you are in any EU country, you can go anywhere. Nobody's allowed to stop you. It's against the EU treaty. Because there is no border. It's a borderless society. Are you catching what I'm saying? This is why in the Paris terrorist bombing, the guy that bombed, the guy that killed 130 people was from Brussels. So here's what they did. They went in, bombed France, and within the less than 5 hours, they were back in Brussels. But you see, if there was borders, you'd have caught them at the border. God knew what he was talking about. Borders act as a way to quarantine certain expression of violence from speaking out. So God already knew borders who become quarantine mechanisms. If there's no, like I remember there was a time in Zambia when there was a war in between Zimbabwe and South Africa. But guess what? We heard about it. Zambia and South Africa are like this. They are like this. We heard about war. We could hear there was war in Zimbabwe. We still went and had chicken, whatever. We'll talk about the war in Zimbabwe. Then there was a war in Kenya. We'll care about the war in Kenya. We'll pray for the Kenyans. Then go and eat our chicken and chimmer and everything. Why? Because the border told us the war stays at our border. So when one time the South African government actually came into South Africa because they had more military power than Zimbabwe when they were fighting for their independence. They came all the way into Zimbabwe with all their powerful armor. Zambia was no match for South Africa. We would have been crashed. South Africans had all firepower. But guess what? When they got near the border, they stopped because international treaties told them they could not cross into the Zambian border. What was protecting us? Our military? No, we were peanuts with the military. What protected us? The border. But if you are borderless, it's over. If you are borderless, you are in trouble.
Do you get it? No, you don't get it. You think that God said, oh yeah, we got to take care of everybody. No. Here's what's happening. Those people worship other gods. They have other altars in their nation. Whatever the name of the spirit is. Don't matter what it is. It's not the God of heaven. DW wasn't talking about God is a spirit and you must worship him in spirit and truth. Okay, so let's establish this. Well, they got other gods. Palestinian people marching down the street. Free Palestine. What you think marching down the street with them? That's a representation of Dagon from Palestine. That's a physical manifestation of his movement into the earth, into the nation of the United States of America. Mexican flags waving everywhere. If I wanted to go back and figure out what damn spirit it was, it's probably one of them Aztec gods. Y'all know these things. You know the occult knowledge of it. I guarantee you, somebody in the chat can put in the chat what the god of the nation of Mexico is. Capupucuela, Cacacuela, some stuff like that. When they waving the flags, who do you think they represent? When there are anarchists out there waving an anarchy flag, what spirit is behind them? And you see, because the Christians inside of this nation, quite frankly, haven't been taught a damn thing. They sit there and say, oh, God loves everyone. And, he's going to judge us for kicking people out of the country. No, he's going to judge you for letting them come in there and rape and pillage and hurt and destroy his children and his nation that he in covenant with. And you coming into agreement with it. It's why the Christians who are leftists, you watch them. This was the most telling thing about Donald Trump's election. There were so many people who were Christians, what I would call cultural Christians, that got Trump derangement syndrome and was crazy. And if you go back from 2016 to now and look at them, they have aged, they have morphed, they have earrings in their nose, they have purple hair. We're not talking about young people. We talking about 50, 60-year-old women that was in church. Or 30-year-old women who was in church and morphed. I know because I go to church and I'll see one and I'm like, damn, what the hell happened to her? But she a Christian, but she got all these tattoos. She got this hardware in the face, looking like Home Depot aisle 7 in your face. What the hell, man? All right, let's go look at the consequences of not having closed borders. Remember, the devil comes to steal, to kill, to destroy. To steal, to kill, destroy. So we opened the borders and he came. It was like, hey, Satan, come on in here, buddy. We love you. Yeah, we like you, Satan. Come on over. And you got some people like, no, you can't let Satan in. Shut up, you racist. Well, no, you can't let Satan in. He go, shut up, you homophobe. You shut up, you transphobe. Shut up, you anti-Semite. Meanwhile, Satan's like, yeah, we have them now. Oh, yes, bring in the children, smuggle them all. Yes, blood. And then they send armies of women with pink and purple hair out to scream at you. Like something on a demon movie. You seen the movies where the demons just there? Same thing. Same damn thing. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yeah, Now, I'm going to start for addressing all the colored folk. Yeah, you colored. You ain't even black American. You colored. I'm going to address you first of all. The ones that sitting there saying, well, you know, the white man did this. Let me show you what your ignorance is doing to your children. And if you don't understand, this is about your children, your grandchildren, I don't know what to tell you. And you got to understand the demonically manifested leftist women, they not having children. They don't have no stake in the future. Those people who go L, G, Z, by B, they don't have children. They have no stake in the future. None. They're living for the now. They're living for the weekend. Living for the weekend. But this is what you allowing to happen in your ignorance. Yeah, in your fear.
Beat, stomped, and stabbed her 16-year-old son at Dockweiler Beach.
When the doctor came to, like, soon as we walked through the door, they was like, we didn't know if your son was going to live. And I just started crying. And I just went over there and held my son's head and told him, Mommy's not going anywhere.
Fortunately, the Hawthorne teen survived after several tense days in the ICU.
He had a punctured lung, concussion. They had to put a tube through his chest to suck all the blood out.
The mother says that on Saturday night on February 10th, her son had gone to see some friends at a party that had been promoted on social media.
My son was helping a friend. He helped a friend, like, get her up off the ground, and then the guy just asked him, like, to stop, and then my son wanted to help his friend, and then the guy asked him, did he want to fight, and my son didn't want to fight him.
She says others then joined in stabbing him 3 times and leaving him with a concussion as they shouted racist and gay slurs. She tells us she considers this to be a hate crime, and based on the references the attackers made about a gang, she thinks this may have been a gang initiation.
They were just calling him all type of names, and they were just kicking him all in his head, in his face, stabbing him.
She tells us videos of the attack have been circulating in Hawthorne high schools and at schools in nearby communities. She believes the suspects go to these schools and now wants to move out of the area to protect her son.
I'm still lost for words knowing that somebody did this to him, and they could still be out there looking for him.
Well, the LAPD tells us that they are aware of these videos and the attack and say the investigation is ongoing. Now, a GoFundMe page has been set up to help out with medical and moving costs. You can find a link to it on our website, KTLA.com. For now, reporting live here near.
Now, LAPD is aware of it. And have you noticed in the news today, and have you noticed how the migrants, the illegals, started attacking LAPD? Have you noticed that there was an explosion by LAPD? You see, when you refuse to protect your sons and daughters, I want to be clear with you. A parent's job is to raise a child up in the right way and protect them until they become an adult. You see, there's all spiritual ramifications for this. But no, we abandon all common sense. That's why I say this nation got to repent. If there was one thing I could say to Donald Trump, I'll say, hey, listen, Mr. President, there's one solution to this whole thing. And that's a day of fasting and repentance. Everybody ain't got to eat food. Everybody need to give up something that they love for a day. For me, I'll be like, Lord, I'm not going to smoke no cigars for 24 hours because, you know, I can fast without food and be good. But I ain't going to smoke no cigars. Somebody else may be like, I'm going to give up cigarettes. Somebody else may be like, I'm going to give up food. Somebody else may say, I'm going to give up chocolate. But that's what's going to have to happen. That's what needs to happen. Because we keep trying to just solve these things in the natural. But let's keep on going and go further down the road. Let's go look at more of what happens when you violate God's laws of having borders. Remember, him dividing the languages technically was a miracle. So these people, these World Economic Forum lizard people, those who don't dwell on the face of the earth, but dwell inside of the earth. I've explained this in a video before. No, they know the laws. They know the rules. They know the game. They just take advantage of you because you don't know the game. And then hit you with guilt. You racist. In my case, Dark Waters, you sell out. Those are your people. Negro, that ain't my people. The people in this chat watching this video that's from America is my people. The people in other nations that watch this video that are in agreement with me that their nation need to be sovereign, they're their nation's people, but they my people in spirit because they understand what goes on. Anybody that comes to this nation and thinks they should get whatever the hell they want for free, do whatever the hell they want, walk over all our people and get away with it. No, you ain't my damn people. I don't care what color your skin is. You could be from Cuba. Cuba got Negroes, dog like me. They got oh my God, they got beautiful women. That's every shade of color. But let you come here. Yeah, let you come over here illegally and break the laws. You ain't all people. Now, you know when you cross that border, you broke the law. You ain't all people. And we got to come to understand that. Now, America got some covenant agreements with nations that have communist leaders. And we should abide by those agreements. We got covenant agreements saying, hey, if you find yourself in a nation where it's a communist nation with a dictator, we'll give you amnesty and bring you in. That agreement itself was violated and taken advantage of by the Joe Biden administration. See, when you understand these type of things, you understand that spiritually they exploited everything. And so when you see fires raging, hurricanes and land hurricanes, thunderstorms hit New York and drowning out New York, you're like, oh, yeah, all the blue cities getting flooded. Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah, buddy, you better believe it. You better believe it. Blood waters is horrible. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you how to figure out where the storm came from if you're a Christian and you're a praying Christian. When it starts raining outside and the storm starts coming, walk out there, stand in the middle of the street, look up at the storm and say, hey, storm, I want to remind you that you were created by Jesus Christ because all things were made by him for his pleasure. And I have been made a son of God by the blood sacrifice of him. For the word of God says, as many as are led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God, and that we've been given the adoption of sons by Jesus Christ. You can look up all the subjects, and I'm not lying to you. You say, hey, me and you on the same team, big guy. Now, I need you to go around here, big guy, because we's on the same team. Are you listening to me? In the name of Jesus, go around. Now, if that storm decide that it ain't going to go around, after you did that, then that storm is being sent. And it's being sent by the big guy. Everybody be like, well, I did that DW and the storm didn't go nowhere. Yeah, because he sent that damn storm. He decided he want that storm. Well, it's the HARP weapons. I understand. Yeah, I told you this on the other video. Yeah, you're right. They got HARP, they got cloud seeding, they got all this stuff. But you see, when you come to the point you be like, well, man is doing everything. You think man in control of everything. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. You're going to believe the Bible or you're not going to believe the Bible. And therein lies the problem. We believe what we won't believe. So everybody heard the story of the Tower of Babel and God's separating the languages and then people going off. But you believe what you won't believe. You believe what makes you feel comfortable. Now, let me stop because I'm not trying to accuse nobody. I'm not making accusations against people. I'm just talking. And I know I can be abrasive at times, and I'm working on it. I want you to understand, I'm working on not being so damn abrasive. It's a cultural thing being from the city of New Orleans because it's raw down here. And sometimes you just got to tell people like it is. And then you got them spicy crawfish. Get the peeling them crawfish, sucking on the head of that crawfish, getting them shrimp, and you get the spice on your lips, and it builds up over time to where you got a spicy mouth where you say things spicy. Can't help it. But I'm working on it. Here's the people in Spain fighting back against them. Now, I need you to understand what comes. See, what comes when the border's open completely. They ain't never closed the border to Spain. And this is after they beat the hell out of an elderly man. Poor. And you got to understand, from these nations, we got rules and regulations. You don't beat up on old people. You don't hurt women. You don't hurt children. Everybody know that. In fact, if me and four dudes from the chat walking down the street and we see somebody beating up an elderly man, we're going to be like, yo, you need to stop that and go handle that. That's not these people culture. You are an infidel to these people. You are less than a dog. And that's been brought into your nation. And people don't seem to understand it. But yeah, I tell you what, you're going to learn today. Yeah. God said you're going to learn today.
Lo matan.
And I want you to ask yourself a question. Let me turn this down. Turn it down. I want you to ask yourself a question. As you see a church burning, if it's not spiritual warfare, why is churches getting bombed and burned all over the place? Well, what the hell is going on right now? Let me stop it right there. There we go. If there's no spiritual warfare aspect to this, why is churches getting burnt down, bombed everywhere? Huh? If it's not spiritual warfare, why did the oldest church in Syria just get bombed by Israel yesterday? Oh, we're sorry, Mr. President Trump. We did it by mistake. We didn't mean to blow up the oldest church in Syria and kill 5 people while they were worshiping. But I can't say that. You Dark Waters, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. That makes you a bad guy. You can't say any of these things that makes you a bad. No, you know what? It makes me a coward in God's eyes. And when you look at the list of all the people that he hates, the ragtag list, it starts off with cowards, sexually immoral, liars, blah, blah, blah. It starts with cowards. And boy, that brings me to my last and final point. You see, that's the one thing that was done to everybody, including me, that pisses me off to the highest point of pistivity, is we accepted as a nation a cowardly spirit. Dark Waters, I didn't accept no cowardly spirit at all. All right, dog. Cool with me if you say you ain't accept it. I'm just keeping it real with you. I should have been saying this. I should have been using my God-given gifts and talents and abilities to do this. So I'm just speaking for me then. Can't speak for you. Now, if you using all your God-given talents and gifts and abilities to make war for the kingdom in the way that he wants you to, then you know what? You ain't no coward, dog. I'm sorry. But me? Yeah. Yeah, should have been doing this. Yeah, should have been unleashed this beast. So then, yeah, they go out, they go, You could hiss, I could hiss too. You could have an unrighteous hiss, I got a righteous hiss. Hit the like button. I'll see y'all on the next video.